womb warriors. 14 weeks pregnant, I know, where has the time gone? And now that the nausea and fatigue have finally subsided, it's given me some quiet time to start creating my ideal birth experience. This time around, I wanted to stay out of the hospital system. And it was important for me to explore every avenue to perhaps inspire a few viewers to seek out an alternative birth experience. I'm gonna go meet a friend in Frio, and hopefully she can point me in the right direction. This is The Nest on Silas Street, a resource hub and safe space created for the women of Perth, meant to educate, empower, inspire, and nurture. Whether you're expecting your first baby or already a mother, this is the place you're going to find the answers to all your questions. Let's go take a look. Abby.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So nice to see you.
Pleasure.
Abby's actually an independent midwife who's founded The Nest. So tell me, what is a midwife doing at a cafe?
Well, over the road from me is a chiropractor, and his wife actually had a baby with me at home about a few years ago now.
Wow.
And she came over when I first set The Nest up, and she said, you know what, there's no cafe around here, why don't you open one up? I was like, yeah, no way, doing that was crazy. and
that's exactly what you did.
That's exactly what I did, that's right. And now it's amazing, like women will come in, buy coffee, we start talking, they'll be pregnant with a baby, and they just start sharing about their birth experiences, about being a mom. I've had women come in with babies with sleep problems, and they're not problems, it's just a disconnect from self, and it's so beautiful to be able to...
It's just an amazing way to give confidence to the community in a way, because you have these women who might feel a little confronted coming to see a professional per se, and who come in a really friendly way and end up, you know, getting access to all this information and support.
Yeah.
How awesome.
It's beautiful.
So as you know, I'm expecting, and I've heard a million good things about you, and I thought that I would come in and maybe have a chat about your vision and what you do to give the viewers a little insight.
Great, come through.
Cool. Thank you for seeing me, Abby. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So basically stuff that I wanted to cover is usually a woman's natural reaction when she finds out she's pregnant is, hey, let's go see the doctor. So what could you tell me the main difference is between going to see an OB and going to see a midwife in private practice?
Well, I guess in seeing an obstetrician, you have the expert in abnormal birth. So you have the expert in surgery, you have the expert in immediate access to epidurals, you have the expert in if something is going wrong, they can respond. But their training is not in normal birth. And according to the World Health Organization, 95% of us should be able to give birth without any intervention. And a midwife is an expert in natural birth, or in physiological birth, in just being with a woman, allowing and creating the space for her to let go and do what she does. And on top of that, we also are trained to detect when things become abnormal and go, right, okay, it's time to refer and consult to the expert in the abnormal.
Abby, my first labor was 45 hours. And although I had really high hopes of having a true physiological natural birth, I did throw in the towel around 30 hours. And as such, I transferred into the hospital, public system. I had an amazing doctor, but my experience really left me with insecurities, lots of personal doubts, that sort of thing. How do you feel that a midwife in private practice could support me emotionally and physically in hopes of achieving that birth that I would really, really love to have?
Well, it sounds like you've got some processing from the first birth that needs to be looked at and held and put down, so you don't carry it anymore. As a midwife, for me, how I work is to, well, ideally meet women very early in pregnancy so that we can build a rapport, a relationship, not just with you as the woman, but also with your partner, with those closest to you. So that there's this real sense of being held. We spend a lot of time talking, and I come to your home, you come in here, Each appointment's about an hour long, sometimes longer if need be. And as time gets closer to birth, we spend a lot of time just talking and listening. And it's really important for me as a midwife that the relationship is one of safety and trust, and that when we meet, that there's a sense of safety and trust, that you feel comfortable with me straight away.
So judging by my past experience and the insecurities that ensued, do you feel that I might be able to get anybody else on my birth team that might complement the experience that I'm looking for?
Yeah, sure. So when you're feeling anxious and concerned, hypnobirthing can be amazing, because it really teaches you to centre yourself.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and it's beautiful to watch women as they labour and hypnobirth. Very peaceful. There's also doulas. You can have a doula by your side. Again, it's about the relationship with the midwife and your doula, and you and your partner, and if you have other children and whoever else you want to have there. You've got to feel that everybody fits.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that you're not having to deal with any strangeness in relationships.
Yeah, of course.
And then sometimes it depends, like if women are really heavy with burden from previous births or just anxiety, then I'll work with, clinical psychs or psychotherapists.
Who can help work through that.
Close relationships.
And so obviously, your cup of tea is home births. That's what you usually do. And in home births and water births, let's say if you're birthing in water at home, what's the main, amazing aspect of it? What's the biggest positive that you would suggest for women to birth in water at home?
There's many. I think water births should be everywhere, available everywhere. I say don't hop into the pool until you're just like, I have to get into that pool. If you're thinking, I want to get in that pool, it'd be really nice. It's the time to start feeling it. Don't go getting in there, because it can slow things down, or it wears itself out, so you start looking for something else. So it's amazing for when labour hits that point of intensity where you just feel like you've hit a wall and you're not coping anymore and you need to be held, and water holds you. And not only that, it's totally private, it's your space. No one can come in, no one can touch you without your consent.
So true.
All of your, to be on your back and be completely exposed and open, and we're naked when we give birth. We don't go showing our vaginas to the world. And even in birth, why should we?
Yeah,
it's totally
absolutely.
vulnerable and open, and being in the water, no one's there unless you want them to be.
It would be just such a safe space.
Safe, and also your head is down over the pool, over the edge of the pool, so you're not overloaded with external stimulation, and it's just completely your zone.
And as well, I would assume that birthing at home, you're just naturally in your element. So you'd be comfortable right off the bat. It would be a totally different experience. Abby, thank you so much for seeing me. I feel rejuvenated and really inspired by what you've said, and meeting women like you with your vision makes me feel like creating the birth that's true to me, creating an experience that's true to me is a real possibility. So much to do, so much to see, so many people to talk to. Thank you so much for seeing me.
Pleasure.
Abby has really given me some food for thought, especially the bit about hypnobirthing. How cool does that sound? And could it work for me? I actually know a practitioner here in town who fits the bill perfectly. And before I give them a call, I'm going to speak to my husband Ben and see what he thinks about it.